Good morning. Thank you for purchasing one of our servers. You're going to receive an email, a document that's sent to you with the IP address with the user so you can access to the server. In this moment, we are going to show you the first step to use the server. Enter the remote desktop, give a click and connect. Write the user and the password. Once we are connected to the server, we are going to change the password. Click on Start and go to Windows Security. Change password. Insert the old password and the new password. Click OK. Once change the password, click on Cancel. Then we are going to go on forward to work in the server. Open the void box. Once it's opened the void box, we open the VoipSwitch. Here we can see the version that is installed, 2.00980. Here I'm going to show you how to work and configure a gateway provider. Is a provider authorized by IP. We click in Config, where we make the configurations. You have received the manual. I suggest that you read it carefully. When you start to do it step by step, what shows you in the manual for other configurations to get 100% out of your server. Now we're going to configure a provider. We click in Gateway. Here I'm going to show you how to configure a client SIP traffic. You can put an IP address in the SIP traffic. Outline the website, 77. Their IP address. In the server, there's a test account that already has been configured by allosip.com, in which IP is set to 54.60.70.60. We click in Add. We can see that we added a provider. Now we are going to configure a supplier that asks me for the username and a password authentication. We are going to configure it. GK customers are those who are authenticated by user and password. Through a proxy, we can write a proxy, or we can also write an IP address. The way you prefer. You can write, for an example, in our case, sip.allosip.com, or write directly to the provider's IP, where we choose the name we're going to give the provider. IP address or proxy port 5060, because we are going to ask to send a SIP format. Time of life, we give it 3,600 seconds. I recommend that you give a lifetime of 0, unless the provider asks me to send 5 simulated calls and requests to send maximum 10 simulated calls. 100 maximum simulated calls to this number is not advisable to leave at 0. In this box, password, insert the password. In this box, username, insert username. In the domain, write the IP address. In the proxy box, we are going to write whatever you prefer. Here we're going to activate whatever codec that your provider tells you can send. If a provider tells you that they don't accept a codec G723, you can disactivate any codec that they don't accept. Then we click and send remote identification. We click in activate and click in add. Once this process is done, we are going to activate provider. In this step, always in the GK accounts, we click in VoipSwitch and gatekeepers. Right click and synchronize the database. As we can see, we configured the provider correctly. That's why it's green. We are going to change the password for an example. We are going to insert an incorrect password. We click and save and open the VoipSwitch, then synchronize database. We can see that it's red for inserting incorrect information. Then we leave the settings the way they were set to remain logged in. Remember that always when you add a GK user, you have to synchronize the database so all the changes are made. A difference from the GW accounts. Have to click and save and automatically the changes will be made. Always remember to use GW accounts. The GW accounts are known to authorize by IP. They are recommended because they only accept calls from an IP address. The reason why we're not at risk that a person could discover our username and password to use our valence.